Welcome to Unit 3, Day 4, Practical Problems. Whenever you see the phrase practical problems, it just means word problems. So we're going to go through some phrases that you should know so that you can learn how to solve these word problems. And all of these have to do with either inequalities or equations. So whenever you see the phrase at most, that's going to mean less than or equal to. So a value meal at McDonald's costs at most $7. That means you're going to have your x less than or equal to 7. This means that whatever you buy at McDonald's, it will always be less than 7 or equal to 7. No more than. Jordan can spend no more than $10 on lunch. This is the same concept. Jordan can only spend less than $10 or exactly $10. So that means x is less than or equal to 10. Maximum is the same concept. The baseball reached a maximum height of 183 feet. This means that the ball will only go up to 183 feet or less. So x less than or equal to 183. Once again, the height of the ball, which is x, will always be less than or equal to 183 feet. These are the three most common words that you will find for less than. Now we'll go to at least. At least means greater than or equal to. Louisa wants to score at least an 85 on her next Algebra 1 test. This means that x will be her score, and she wants to get a number greater than or equal to 85. That is her goal. She wants to get higher than an 85. No less than. Miss A's class sizes are no less than 18 students. This is also greater than or equal to. So x would be the number of students. So this is saying that Miss A's class sizes are always going to be greater than or equal to 18 students. Minimum. Teenagers should sleep for a minimum of 7 hours a night. This means that x would be your hours, and you should always sleep more or equal to 7 hours. So at least, no less than, minimum are the three most common words you will find for greater than or equal to. At most, no more than, and maximum are the three common words you will find for less than or equal to. Now the word per. This is kind of changing a little. We're not going to talk about inequalities, we're just going to talk about what does it mean when you see the word per. It will always mean multiply. Maria earns $8 per hour at her job. So we have the number 8. Per means multiply. And then hour, you can pick any letter to represent hour. Because we do not know how many hours she worked, so we have to put a variable. So we can put h. So then we can say the math sentence for this is 8h. Each is another word that means multiply. Shirts cost $15 each, and pants cost $25 each. So this means for shirts we're going to have some letter because we do not know how many shirts. So we can put X. And then we'll have $15 each. That means every shirt will cost $15. So that would be 15X. Pants cost $25 each. We'll make pants Y because we do not know how many pants there are. And each pants is $25. So this each means multiply, so we're going to have 25 multiply by Y. When you see and, most of the time it's going to mean plus. So that means this expression would have a plus. 15x plus 25y. Flat fee. Flat fee means it's just going to be the same number all the time. It's going to be a constant. The taxi charges a $4 flat fee plus $5 per mile. So this $4 flat fee just means 4. Plus means plus $5 per mile. Per, once again, means multiply. So we're going to have 5 multiply by some letter that represents mile. We can do M for mile. Then we just take this and we write it here. 4 plus 5M. Surface charge. This is another constant number. The number does not change. A repairman charges $100 per hour and a $25 surface charge. So this $100 is your number. Per means multiply. Hour will have a letter because we do not know how many hours. So we're going to put H. And will mean plus. And this $25 service charge just stays as 25. So now we have 100 H plus 25. These are the most common words you will see in word problems. So how do you solve word problems? Step number 1, read the problem carefully. Step number 2, underline or circle important numbers and variables, just like we did up here. Define your variables and write an equation or inequality. Read what the question is asking for again. Read carefully. When it says define your variable, that just means what does your letter represent. So if you were to look at this last example, we have H. H represents hours. For example, example number 1 says, a consulting engineer bills his customers $90 for each hour he works. If a client's bill is $955, which equation could be used to find the number of hours worked? This is our question. So right here we have $90 is your number. Each means multiply. We do not know how many hours, so we're going to put a letter. So for hour, we can do X, because that's what it says in the answer choice. So we'll have X. If a client's bill is $955, most of the time when you see the word is, this means equal. And then just the number 955. So I can take this and make an equation. I can say 90x equals 955. Now I just look at my answer choices and I see which one matches this. The answer C matches. Example number 2. We are going to read carefully. In addition to a $50 bonus, Mike earned $9 per hour working last week. Mike's total earnings last week were $221. How many total hours did he work last week? We underlined all the important information, and now we want to write our expression or equation. So this is a $50 bonus. This means it just stays as $50. There's no multiplying, nothing. It's just a number. Then it says $9 per hour. We have the number 9. Per, once again, means multiply. We do not know how many hours, so we'll say X. And then we come here and it says total earnings last week were $221. That means equal 221. So now we can take this and we can write it as an equation. 50 plus 90x is equal to $221.
Sorry about that.
So now we solve the equation like we do every other equation. We put our line down the middle, and we want to put number with number. The opposite of addition, whenever you see no sign, it means positive, is subtraction. So we do minus 50, minus 50. This gets canceled, and we have 9x equal 221 minus 50 is 171. Divide by 9 on both sides. Now we have x equal to 19 hours. Because the whole point of this problem is we're finding the total hours he worked. Now that we solved it, we find the one that matches, and we see B is the answer. Example number 3. Alejandra has already earned $200 for the dance club. She is selling candy at $5 per box. She wants to raise at least $500. Write an inequality that represents how many boxes Alejandra must sell. So when we look at this, we say she already has $200. So that's one number. She's selling candy at $5 per box. Once again, per means multiply. So we have 5 multiply by box. We don't know how many boxes, so we're going to put a letter. In this case, we can do B. She wants to raise at least $500. When we look at this, we say at least means greater than or equal to. So over here, that means we're going to have greater than or equal to 500. So we're going to take all of this and we're going to write it as an inequality. 200 plus 5b is greater than or equal to 500. This question is only asking for the inequality. So we are done here. It does not say solve. Example number 4. A repairman estimates the cost of fixing a computer is at most $400. The estimate includes an $85 service charge and $45 per hour for the labor. What is the maximum number of hours the repairman estimates for the job? At most 400 means less than or equal to. So we have less than or equal to 400. Then we have this $85 service charge. So we just put 85. And most of the time means plus. Then we have $45 per hour. We write the number per means multiply. We are trying to find hour, so we're going to put a letter for hour. We're going to use X. So now we're going to take this and we're going to write it as an inequality. We're going to take our 85 plus 45X is less than or equal to 400. In this case, it's saying what is the maximum number of hours the repairman estimates for the job. That means we need to solve for X. And we do this the same way we've been solving equations and inequalities. Easiest way is to take the number with the number. Whenever you do not see anything, that means it's positive. So the opposite of positive 85 is negative 85. This cancels. Now we have 45X is less than or equal to 400 minus 85 is 315. We want X to be alone, so we have to cancel this 45. And we do that by dividing by 45 on both sides. Now we have X is less than or equal to 7. So what this answer means is the maximum number of hours that this repairman thinks the job is going to take is 7 hours. Last problem is an SOL preview. This is how it might look on your SOL. Renee is going bowling. The cost per game is $2.50. Renee will need to rent a pair of bowling shoes for $1.50. She can spend up to $16 to bowl and rent a pair of shoes. What is the maximum number of games that Renee can bowl? Let's just review. Maximum means less than or equal to. So over here when it says up to 16, this means less than or equal to. She can only spend $16 or less. This cost per game means we have our number. Per means multiply. And for game, we're going to do the letter X. And then she's always going to spend $1.50 for the shoes. So now we're going to take all of these and put them in one inequality. So we have $2.50 multiplied by X plus $1.50 is less than or equal to 16. And then we solve. Minus 150 on both sides. 2.5x is less than or equal to 14.5. We divide both sides by 2.5. Now we have x is less than or equal to 5.8. What this is telling you is that she can only play 5 games with the amount of money she has. You can't play only 0.8 of a game, so we have to take just the whole number, which is this 5. So when we look at our answer choices, we want to circle 5. Remember to use your notes to help you with your practice.